To order this meeting of the Carthage City Council. Chief, will you please give us an invocation?
Yes, Ron. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight. We thank you for our health and our ability to be here. There's much work to do in our community, Father, and I ask you to examine our hearts and fill us with righteous wisdom so the result of our efforts will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. David, will you please call the roll?
Peterson.
Present.
Topeka.
Present.
West.
Here.
Perkins.
Here.
Thorne.
Present.
Kang. Snow.
Here.
Schramm. Here. Wells.
Here.
All right, I know you've all had an opportunity to look at the minutes of the February 24th meeting. Are there any comments on those? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes as written.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to approve the minutes of the February 24 council meeting. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, minutes are approved. Next one, we'll move on. We have no presentations or proclamations for this evening, so we will move on to public comments. Anyone wishing to address the council, please step to the podium, state your name and address, and please limit yourself to 5 minutes for comments.
Hello, my name's Regina Wells. I live at 2026 South Maple here in Carthage. My concern is on the Lime scooters. Last year I brought it up to the board that I was pulling into a parking spot and two young teenagers come flying out of there and I missed them by inches. I'm concerned about if I were to hit one of them, their parents, would they be able to sue me? And plus I would have to live with that the rest of my life. It's not only that, but comment after comment throughout this town, and I'm hoping people speak up because we don't have enough police on the department to have somebody on every road at every minute. So we can't put this off on one department. We can report it, but then again, if we don't have pictures of the children or know who they are to go to their parents, we can't do anything about it. I am against the Limes because of the fact that parents are not knowing what their children are doing, or if they are using their cards to get these kids on these Lime scooters, it puts their children in danger, number one, and number two, those that would hit those children out there have to live with it. And then we have to worry about being sued if they die. Do we have to go to jail like so many do when they hit a child on a bicycle? This is very, very concerning to me. And the last thing I want to do, and as most people know, I am a very strong advocate on children. But I don't want to see me or anybody else that's innocent to have to live with that problem. If the parents don't want to control the situation, then it's a losing cause. And that's just my soapbox. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from council members, from Ms. Wells? Okay. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please step forward. Limit yourself to 5 minutes. State your name and address, please, Julie.
Hello, Julie Reams, president of the Carthage Chamber, and I'm here tonight to let all of you know that we won the Maple Leaf Festival won the 4 States Finest with KOAN. And thank you. Our Maple Leaf Festival since 2022 has won 6 awards. While some may think that this is small, this is really a very big deal because this is a testament. These votes come from our community and those that attend this festival. So And I bring this before you because it takes all of us. Just because I'm gonna be selfish and house this at the chamber with the others, but it takes all of us. Sure, it's by the chamber, but you all approve what we do. The department heads go along with all the crazy things that I wanna do, and you all approve that because I make sure that I get permission and I wanna do this and do that, but you all step up and you volunteer. This award is for you, it's for our citizens, it's for every visitor that comes here. It's a lot of hard work. I mean, months of planning. I mean, this close. I wish I could tell you the theme. I just know it's 60 years. And we're gonna paying homage to all the things in the past up to the present. I went through a lot of detail, bringing some things back old. We're gonna make them new again. And just know the hard work, yeah, it's 9 days and oh, how do you do it? Well, you just do it because you know what? We don't just cut ribbons. We're creating a culture in our community and within our chamber so people want to come here and they want to stay here and they want to be a part of the community. So on behalf of everyone at my board, my employees, myself, I thank you guys. I thank our community for making us the best. And I appreciate all of you. And I will be back sooner rather than later because there's a lot of approvals this time that I will have to get. And so some of you don't even know the crazy asks yet, but they're coming. But thank you. Thank you to the community for truly making the Maple Leaf Festival the best. So let's win this again so we can really solidify that we are the best. So thank you to the Carthage community. Thank you all.
Council, any questions for Julie?
I got one. Julie,
Yes, sir.
I attended the Maple Leaf several times throughout my career in here. I wish we could find a way to get more bands into our Maple Leaf parade like it used to be.
Well, unfortunately,
I know the schools control a lot of that. but-
well, they do. And last year, obviously, the rain, a lot of those were canceled at the very last minute. What does hurt our festival is there is a statewide festival, band festival like what we have here. And a lot of those bands over the course of the years have went out of town at that same time. And that has put a strain on the bands. And we did have a lot more bands this year signed up, but then the rain came and everybody canceled. So and we just keep trying. And I think until maybe the state changes, that's a state issue. It has nothing to do with our festival. It's just, that's the way it is.
A most beautiful
And we
parade.
can't, I know, and I get it, and I understand MSSU can't come because they have a football game sometimes. We try to get Pitt State over. Well, that's usually their homecoming too. So we're really at kind of out of lock, but I hear you. I really understand, and I don't know who the new band director will be at the school, but I really do look forward to working with that individual to really try to cultivate and try to get more. But until the state changes, maybe their date is when we'll see something different. So that's all I got. It's the only answer.
Any other questions for Julie from council? Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the council? Please step forward, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Carthage City Council. I noticed the emphasis on the 5 minutes, so I will try and be brief this evening. So I'm Jeff Meredith, CEO of the Carthage Economic Development Corporation. Just thought I would provide an update. It's been a little bit. So first off, I'd like to thank the Swearingen Family Farms and its trustees for donating the land easement to the city and to Mercy Health Systems for providing a construction easement from the ambulance barn so the contractors can get started. Mr. Bayless and I plan to visit the recorder's office this week, once that comes in the mail, so we can get those recorded and going. There should be some dirt moving on that road probably later this month. So it's good to see some activity out there. One of the initiatives of the CEDC is daycare, and we have been working to help some daycares in Carthage. Little Lambs has recently expanded their services to 49 children and are planning to expand again to almost 90 kids. We were able to help them secure some local funding and have an application to the state of Missouri. For anyone looking here or watching on the TV, they do currently have openings available. Last meeting, Tori Bonus had her special use permit approved for the daycare over there by River and Phelps.
Airport Drive.
Airport, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And so they've had their nonprofit approved by the IRS last year, special use permit was approved, and then we're currently working on their business plan, as well as trying to come up with some funding to determine how to make that operational. Our housing committee continues to focus on the need for housing, and while we certainly aren't building housing, I did a little quick research today. Since the study was done in April of 2025, we've had 31 new single-family home permits and 38 multi-family home permits applied for. So with that pace, we're actually on pace to hit the 326 needed by 2030, and there's more homes coming. Also, reached out to the developer today. Tractor Supply plans to be open sometime this summer for business. Anyway, so that's what I have for this evening. Any questions from the council?
Any council questions for Jeff? Yeah, Jan.
And most of those homes are out Chapel Road or?
Yes, so Robertson, here in town off of Centennial,
Yes.
there's 8 or 9 homes there.
Yes.
Justin, is who's building out there off Chapel, he's got duplexes going as well as single-family homes off of Lakeview. You've got 4 on Modern Way, there by the high school. Ledford's building some there. There's an Hispanic gentleman that's built a couple homes in town, and that doesn't even mention that because they're not applied for permits yet, but Schumann Mitchell started moving dirt on phase 2 of Creekside out there.
Okay. That's why it's very important that we keep pushing that roundabout at the schools with more and more homes there. So.
Yes, and I talked to Will as well just about funding.
Yes.
He doesn't anticipate a lot of extra money at MoDOT, but definitely we are towards the
Right.
top of that list for sure.
And that's Will Klein with the Harry S. Truman
Oh,
Transportation.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Any other council questions for Jeff? Thanks, Jeff. Anyone else wishing to address the council? All right, we'll move on then to reports of standing committees, and we'll start with Budget, Ways, and Means. Alan.
Budget Ways and Means Committee met here in council chambers last night, had a few things on the agenda. First item, we discussed and adopted our budget goals for the 26-27 fiscal year. So at this time, I would like to make a motion that the council adopt the budget goals for the fiscal 26-27 calendar year.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the fiscal year 26-27 budget goals. Any discussion? Alan?
So the reason we do these budget goals kind of establishes our priorities when we're going through putting the numbers together. It sets our priorities. It sets what our, it says in our budget goals that our mission as the city is to provide essential services to our citizens and to make sure that those services are funded through our budgeting process. It also says that we are going to compensate our employees and those types of things. So I think it's good that we have that document. It is a goal or a guideline. It's not set in stone with hard and fast numbers for anything until we start putting all the numbers in or start hashing out all the numbers that are in the budget. This just kind of sets that North Star for the budget committee.
Any other discussion? All right, a motion and a second on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
The second item on our agenda was a budget adjustment, and it is on our agenda tonight. I apologize, I did not look at that resolution. It is Resolution 2117. It's for funding. I guess we had purchased some lights for the playgrounds at the parks, but we failed to budget for the installation of those lights. So this budget adjustment will pay for the installation of those lights. Next thing that we heard in staff reports, Our IT department is now going to start giving a staff report to us at our budget committee meeting. And Mr. Keith reported last night that he has put together some costs and has asked that the city enter into an agreement with Verizon for the city's cell phone service. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to allow the mayor to enter into an agreement with Verizon for our cellular services.
Question.
I second that motion.
No, question. Was this a bid situation, or how did you decide on Verizon?
So he did bid and looked at the services that they provide, the other things that are included in their package, and Verizon was the best deal for.
And who takes advantage of this? What is the?
So we currently have 14 cell phones. We have 32 routers, and when I say routers, those are units in the police cars that allow the MDTs in the police car to communicate with the police station. We have 3 iPads and laptops. We have 5 poll cams and 2 hotspots that we currently have. And I should say that would be a monthly, can I amend my motion?
You may.
The monthly charge would be $1,768.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Yes.
Janet?
This is the second time we've talked about this. Michael Keith did a very good job of researching any credits we would get back, what would do long-term service for us best, and he gave us a full picture of what would be cost beneficial to the city as well as function for the city. So that's what we based our motion on, that he would go with Verizon. But he did a good job on that, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Alan?
I would just like to ask, Mr. Keith, did I forget anything? Oh, thank you. That's all.
Any other discussion? We have a motion, a second on the table to approve an agreement with Verizon. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion passes.
And then we heard that sales tax revenue year-to-date is down slightly. I'm sure Ms. Cox will report on it later. The use tax year-to-date is up, so we're kind of seeing an offset, but the sales tax number that's down is very close to what we had budgeted, so it doesn't look like we're going to have an issue with meeting our budgeted revenues. Our next meeting will be April 13th here in council chambers at 5:30.
Okay, thank you. Committee on Insurance Audit and Claims. Derek?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the committee met this evening in council chambers. We forwarded to council both claims for the last 4 weeks. We didn't have a meeting on February 24th. Both of those we'll see shortly here for approval. As far as new business, we had 2 proposed ordinances that were passed and will be on our March 24th agenda for full council. The first, both relate to posting of agendas, special meetings, and standard public meetings. The first was in addition to the code, simply requiring the clerk to post such notices and agendas, but allowing to do so also in an internet-based form. Our prior or our standing ordinance says the city print newspaper and outside in a publicly viewed area. This would also allow civic clerk or an internet-based, I shouldn't say civic clerk, and the internet-based platform that the city is using for posting as well. And then secondly, the other ordinance was just clarifying the functions of the city clerk, just adding one section that essentially states that the city clerk is required to post public meeting and special meeting agendas and notices, and also that if the city clerk cannot do so, that there are 2 designated appointees who could do so in his or her place. Just really clarifying any conclusion or confusion, putting in the city clerk's job description that it is a requirement to post public and special meeting agendas. Other than that, we did have one ordinance that was tabled to our next CIAC meeting, so we'll hash that out and hopefully that'll come before council sooner than later. But that's all for CIAC tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, public safety. Alan.
Yes, Public Safety Committee is currently between meetings. Our next regularly scheduled meeting has been changed. Instead of Monday, the 16th, we are going to meet on Thursday, the 19th at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Okay, thank you. Public services. Janet.
We're also between meetings, but I wanted to say that I attended the Parks and Recreation Expo in Columbia, Missouri, where I met Richard Bonine. And we were able to talk to many pool suppliers and pool designers, along with outdoor recreation companies and the Missouri Parks and Recreation representative to speak about grants available and when to apply for our area. We have Richard and I are meeting an aquatic company tomorrow to discuss some options we may have as a city, and we're just beginning that process of looking into the municipal pool and exactly the next steps we need to take with it. We also have a committee that we have met with to discuss this, but we're just taking this first step in talking to a company first to see if it's even viable. So, and Alan said along the resolution 2117, the lights in the park, as soon as we get that approved, you'll be seeing the new lights go up near the playgrounds in various parks. And our meeting is also changed. The next public service meeting will be held Monday, March 23rd at 5:30 p.m. here in council chambers.
Thank you. Public Works. Derek.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So our Public Works Committee meeting was March 3rd. To begin, Sally Stewart with Vision Carthage gave some updates on some things they're doing. A couple dates to note that I'll go through, but one thing was Oak Street Hill, Wee Hill, working with Josiah in the Public Works Department. They've made some cosmetic changes. I know the Public Works Department recoded that bridge, painted a Route 66 stencil on there, and Vision Carthage is going to be doing some further beautification with painting and then hanging up flower baskets on either side of the bridge. Those will be artificial plants, not live plants, so they'll look good year-round. But a couple important dates she shared with us. Dumpster Days, which was extremely successful last year, will be May 3rd, and it'll be at the Fair Acres parking lot, I guess the most west or eastern parking lot. The softball field's more than the baseball fields, if that makes sense. From 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and that is the day following the citywide garage sale, so works well if you have some stuff to get rid of following that day. So that's May 3rd. City Cleanup Day is April 18th, and that's the same day as Earth Day. And what was the other thing she mentioned? Oh, and then the Vision Carthage Soiree fundraiser will be held at Central Park on June 27th. So a few dates to note there. As far as our substantive business, the committee approved the contract with Zanavan Engineering for the 3rd Street Bridge replacement. That's a BRO grant with MoDOT. They pay 91% of that. MoDOT had to approve that contract, so our committee had already determined to go with Zanavan Engineering. MoDOT then had to approve. They said looks good, and we formalized that, so that work can begin. Josiah did a great job. He did presented the department and street department's budget and 5-year capital outlay. And then lastly, I was just going to make a note. So a gentleman at our last council meeting discussed the one-ways, Main and Maple. Now, I know this went to the Public Safety Committee, and that committee had a detailed discussion with Chief Deininger and others related to that. And the committee, the Public Safety Committee took no action on that, but wanted to make sure it came to Public Works to hear our thoughts. And the long and short is that our committee took no action as well after some of the research Chief Deininger and his department did. It's possible that doing that one way year-round might create some more issues than it solves. And really, we experienced that jam up there for kind of a Marion Days and Maple Leaf, essentially. So the justification of the cons that it brings doing year-round didn't justify the means of just those, short periods. So I did want to add that our committee took no action on that either. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I now entertain reports from special committees and board liaisons. Jack?
Yes, the CWEP board will not meet in March. They will have a meeting April 9th, which will be their budget meeting, as I told Alan. And then after that, Chuck said he's going to talk for 5 hours. I'm not sure how that's going to work. So that's a
You must not know Chuck that well.
Yeah.
He'll be brief. Any other special board liaisons? Ron?
We are going to have a city code meeting on the 18th of this month. Time hasn't been set yet for sure, but Dorothy's called around and talked to all the department heads, and we will be meeting on the 18th.
Okay, and that's code enforcement.
That's code enforcement,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alan?
Myself and Jana and Ms. Cox and you, Mayor, met with Humane Society, had a good discussion. The communication is much better, I would say, with the representatives we're meeting with now. And I believe we have a contract that we are going to propose to the Humane Society, and we can get that going again. I also met myself and Ms. Cox and yourself with the representatives from the Boots Motel, or the Boots Visitor Center, and I don't believe they had any changes to their contract. And we met with Chamber, and they had no changes to their contract. Oh,
Boots does have a change to their contract.
oh, I couldn't remember what the change was.
They want to go back to their regular operating hours.
That's right. When we met with them, they asked to go back to their regular hours, which is 10 to 7. And so,
Seasonal adjustment.
And with seasonal adjustments. So we're going to make that change to their contract before it comes back. And trying to remember, I didn't meet, I know you met with Vision Carthage about their contract, and there are some minor changes in it, but that's all I have.
Okay. Other board liaisons or special committees? Derek?
Yeah, I was going to note the Planning, Zoning, and Historic Preservation Committee met on March 2nd, and there was some business outside of historic design guidelines, which is crazy because that's been the talk in all our meetings. But you'll see tonight as Council Bill 2612, an annexation of a particular lot in the Breckenwood addition. I can speak more on this when it comes up, but essentially the homeowner has an immediately adjacent lot behind his home that is not in the city of Carthage, but it's the only lot in the whole neighborhood that's not, and he has a potential buyer who wants to build a residence there.
In fact, Derek, unbeknownst to you, but that deal has closed, so
Okay.
we are going to pull that council bill off tonight's agenda.
Gotcha.
And they'll have to essentially reinitiate the annexation request, which is not a problem, but they've actually closed the deal.
Gotcha,
They
okay.
weren't waiting on the city council.
Yeah, disregard. Moving to Council Bill 2613, that's for proposed annexation of some 24 acre parcel on East Fir. So this is immediately to the east of the baseball fields at the high school, or the new baseball field, and kind of the tech stuff. There's a strip of land there for which the school owns it, R9, and they will be turning that into the school farm for ag-related programs. And then finally, Council Bill 2614 is a replat of Blackberry Briar. Put simply, the way this addition is platted is that the streets go to a cul-de-sac. However, there's a street cut here and a street cut here, and it goes to a cul-de-sac. It makes a lot more sense to just make that a full through street. And the Planning and Zoning Commission approved that, so that will be 2614. Other than that, the commission appointed a secretary, Tori Bonus, and that's all I have this evening.
All right. Any other special committees or board liaisons? All right, fine. We'll move on now to my report. I was able to meet with the library board, specifically the leadership. We've got 3 board members are going to turn over there, or required to turn over. As some of you may know, that falls under Missouri state statute, so even though they're a mayor-appointed board. And very nice to see, we've had a lot of interest from across the city of those that would be willing to volunteer to serve on that board, and there'll be a nice suite of, or slate rather, of candidates for that board to start taking a look at and consider for joining their body. Alan and I did meet with the routine McHugh Brooks Hospital Trust Board meeting as well. You'll see one thing in your packet tonight, which is a recommended approval of a $65,000 disbursement for the fairgrounds, I believe it is, Alan, if you correct me wrong.
Jasper County Youth Fair.
They also had an information briefing from Dr. Boyer and Ms. Goodnight with regard to the R9 needs. That was very informational, and well, you'll see that again this evening. No action on the R9 request. We did have a meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment. As those of you know, those only meet as required. And we did have a requirement for it to meet this last month, just basically to make an adjustment within a class within the city. No big deal. It worked well, and that thing worked fine. Humane Society meeting, Alan's already mentioned. I think that's moving forward. And Planning and Zoning, they have been doing other work, but they've also continued to work on the historic guidelines. I don't anticipate any proffering of those guidelines rework to council until after the election, so that you all know, but they are continuing to work that and move forward. The tree board continues to work. If those of you that have been driving up and down Grand and portions of Centennial, you've probably seen some new trees down in there. So the tree board has continued to beautify the route, general parade route coming forward. And finally, from my report, and I'm sure that Derek will wax much more eloquently later on, but we did have a bridge meeting last Friday with a host of elected officials, both county and state, and representation beyond at the federal level, to discuss the state of our bridges. MoDOT was there. If you haven't had a chance, it is, I believe, posted on YouTube already. If not, we'll make sure it gets up there. That covers the presentation that Derek gave, which gave a little bit of a history, and the MoDOT gave a very good representation too with regard to the status of the bridges themselves. So we certainly understand the pain that will cause some citizens, and we are working to see if we can come up with a solution. So bear with us, and more to follow. And Derek, I'm sure you'll cover that a little bit more in detail. All right, other than that, we'll now move on to reports of council members. And Derek, we'll start with you.
Sure, yeah, thank you, Mayor. I think that was very well put. I was just going to note, that I really would like to thank Tracy and Mayor Flanagan and everyone in City Hall who helped facilitate that. It was really great. We had, like the mayor said, really great representation. Some field representatives from Eric Schmidt's office. Senator Carter was here. Representatives Loy and Lane Stevens.
Lane Roberts.
Roberts, sorry. And as well as our Eastern County Commissioner, Jimmy Morris. A lot of people we were able to get in front of, share our story. As the mayor said, this is painful, has been painful, excuse me, for years. And there's still much work to be done. It's certainly not an end. This was a beginning meeting, not an end meeting, unfortunately. But it was a really important step in building those relationships, opening that dialogue, and they were able to share, certain funding opportunities that we weren't aware of and avenues to pursue those. So everybody's working on the same team now, not only in Carthage, which is going to be really beneficial and quite frankly, the only way I think we can get this done. So very successful. I appreciate everyone in City Hall and it went really well, but still got to keep working on that. Thank you, Mayor.
Juan,
I don't have anything, Your Honor.
Ray,
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Jack.
I mentioned to Richard, since the tariffs have essentially been eliminated, the contract for $25,000 for the fireworks display, I think, could maybe be renegotiated. If they buy the fireworks in China or Taiwan or wherever else they may come from, there are no tariffs now. China was 100% tariff. So I did mention that to him just in passing, because I think that contract could be less than $25,000.
Okay, anything else?
Well, actually, yes. In the Public Works meeting last week, I made reference to US 71 highway and called it the National Highway. It's actually I've been corrected, it's the Jefferson Highway. And for those who don't realize, it ran from the Canadian border to New Orleans. And this used to be the crossroads of America, where US 66 and US 71 crossed at Central and Garrison. Of course, we can't be at crossroads now because we don't have any bridges to drive across. But regardless, I brought out the point. I think most of it's been replaced by Interstate 29 to the north and Interstate 49 to the south. The only place that 71 still exists is from Fort Smith, Arkansas to Texarkana. And it's a beautiful road to drive if you want to drive 40 miles an hour. I thought that with that reference, you hardly ever hear anything about the Jefferson Highway, but I still think that maybe there are some, and Tracy mentioned that they've been talking to some people regarding not just US 66, but the famous highway that's not famous anymore, so.
Thank you. Anything else? No. David?
The library board would have met tonight. They didn't have a quorum, so that's off till next month. I've had a few phone calls about the bridges. I've assured them we have a committee in place that's looking at every possible option to get that back on track. I've had a few phone calls too about Lime scooters, and all have been against the Lime scooters.
Have been what?
Against Lime scooters, so that's what I've had on my end. So that's all for tonight.
Thank you. Alan?
So I've had a couple people ask me to clarify why planning and zoning and historic preservation, or planning and zoning, why they're trying to create historic districts. Well, the historic districts have been created here in Carthage since the 1980s, and we've had historic guidelines since that time. And so I just wanted to clarify for everyone, they're not creating new guidelines. They are updating the existing guidelines. They're not creating new historic districts. They are updating the guidelines in the historic districts that we have. So I just wanted to clarify that so that there's not confusion. We're not creating new historic districts. They're just updating the guidelines in those historic districts.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's all tonight.
Janet?
I attended the bridge meeting, and I just would like to say how knowledgeable Derek Peterson is on the bridges. He spoke well. He is the man to go to for information on the bridges. Lots of our elected officials were here, so they're well aware of what we're up against. And Derek has been answering questions online when people have questions about the bridges, so he's fully engaged in the bridge project. And Derek, could you tell people who else is on that committee with you, because it's a really outstanding committee.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. So Julie, who's still here, she was instrumental in Friday. Huge. Jeff, if he's still here, he's on it back there. Tracy, Mayor Flanagan, myself, and then Josiah, obviously instrumental in everything. And then as well as Pat Goff, who's here with us this evening, and then Dave Hafner. So yeah, like you said, it's really a lot of people with very unique and specialized skill sets in different areas. And that was kind of the goal in forming that committee is, oh, and Jason Eckhart, I'm so sorry, with Zanavan Engineering. He is also on the committee. So couple engineers, Pat formerly with MoDOT, some experience there. It's a lot of really well-informed, smart people who are working really hard, and we're fortunate for their service in doing so.
I just wanted to say thank you for doing that. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's all I have.
Ron?
Yes, Your Honor. I've done some inquiries, reference those line machines, scooters, or whatever you want to call them, and I put it out and asked for both pro and con. I only had one individual come back to me and was in favor of having the Lime scooters. And I had a lot of comments. I don't want to read them all, but I do want to read a few of them. One individual, death traps, as on the street parking barely. They needed lanes painted for them and what have you. Another one come back and said he wished they would designated that they could only be in parks or what have you, instead of out on the streets. Another one, city should require the line to have liability insurance for the riders so that when they do damage to their cars and what have you, that they will be liable to the individuals that they're doing damage to. Another individual, I'm not a fan. The riders are hardly ever legal. They're riding them. They leave them broken down in front of their houses. They either drop them off wherever they end up in the street. One person said the lines were sitting in front of their house for 3 weeks and never picked up or done anything with. These are individuals who were complaining from my area and online. Someone also made a statement about the police would pick up the responsibility for ensuring that the individuals are either legal or what have you. Our police chief stated to me before that we're approximately 7 officers down for the ratio of population versus the number of officers that he has available to be on the streets. I have a hard time just getting some of them to help control the speed limits in the city. I don't see us putting that additional responsibility on our police officers on the streets, trying to ensure that people are abiding by the rules that are supposed to be set up by the council in the line. And it just, most of I had 20 people come back and talk to me about them, and only one come back and said that they were in favor of the lines. I did have one comment. They didn't like us voting for the alcohol at the golf course. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll now move on to the reports of the officers of the city. Richard, we'll start with you this evening.
Thank you, Your Honor. As everybody's pretty much indicated, staff has been really busy with budgets, really busy with contracts. Councilmember Schramm mentioned that I went to a Parks and Rec conference, which was pretty good. We did get the opportunity to meet a lot of good vendors, and that was kind of the highlight of the week. And so I didn't take notes, but we'll try to do some renegotiation with the tariff-free fireworks and see where we can get, because that's the 4th of July he's referring to, which I said I would never not mention 4th of July celebration. So that's how I'm going to end my report.
Josiah.
Yeah, so I want to say a quick thank you to Julie. Today, we met with some field representatives from Senator Eric Schmidt's office, Michael can't even pronounce his last name, Usry, and Tucker Jobs. And anyway, they were not able to attend last Friday during the bridge tour and the meeting that we had there. And we were able to take them out on site today, show them. We're trying to show everybody that goes on this tour some of the underneath sides of these structures that they're not visible. And once you get underneath there, it's really an eye-opening experience. You realize why they get closed down. I do want to make it clear, we know these bridges have been an ongoing problem for a long time, and I do appreciate the mayor and Derek and this committee that was formed. I think we all have seen that there is a problem. We are admitting there's a big problem, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to fix this problem now. So I'm looking forward to continuing working with them, and I think we can really get some traction and start moving forward with some of these. Asphalt is back. They fired up. We did get Old 66 laid in the park today, so it's all been fresh asphalt. So tomorrow, if you're bored, you can go drive out by the lake and check it out on Old 66, new asphalt. We're going to be getting some new schnitzels to paint out there here real soon. But you will see Blevins working through town in various locations here in the upcoming week and a half, doing some dodging weather, it sounds like, after tonight or early tomorrow morning. So. Airport sidewalk project, I do want to make something clear. I know there's been a lot of chatter on Facebook and some of the areas about the curbs in the middle of the roadway. So I appreciate Beth King. She reached out to me the other day via email and just kind of wanted to get some clarity there so she could answer some of her constituents within her ward. And just to clarify, that sidewalk project being a TAP project, it's a state funded grant money that we're receiving, and in order to be eligible to receive some of those funds, you have to do things according to the state's way as far as some of those areas when they're crossing in the middle of a roadway. Most crosswalks are at intersections to where traffic is coming to a stop. Those happen to be in the middle of a roadway, so they want to create what's called a safe landing zone for a pedestrian to stand, if needed, to wait for and yield to some of the traffic that's coming. Let's say somebody's not stopping, they'll have a place to step back into, theoretically, to hopefully keep them safe. So I just wanted to explain some of that to people, and there will be some extra signage that we'll be placing up there to kind of show that once it comes in. Center Street and Macon Street box culverts, now that asphalt's going, those are top on our list. So we'll be working on those the next upcoming few days. So, and then also we did have a meeting with, in regards to the downtown sidewalk project extension here off the square. And we actually met with Cochran Engineering, and we did a little bit of a presentation, answered questions on business owners that are surrounding the square, or some of those people that live in those residences and stuff. We just kind of walked the area after the meeting and addressed some of those questions and concerns people had, just to hopefully go into the design phase of this project with good information and good knowledge, and just to make people aware that this is upcoming. That project is planned to kick off after Maple Leaf. So we'll try to dodge Maple Leaf, and then we'll hopefully have everything ready to go after that. So there's a little bit of a touch on the timing of that. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Chad?
Nothing else.
All right, Jason?
Of course, everybody knows we had some weather Friday night. Tried to keep everyone updated on my list as to, we coordinate with the schools and with public safety chair and city administration what's going on, and we'll be doing that again tonight. The last word I got was the danger zone for our area will be between 4 and 6 a.m. So we'll be up and at them, monitoring it, and don't be surprised if your phones are buzzing. So that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Tracy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Sales tax, as Alan mentioned previously, are down slightly for the year. We are at 73.6% of the budget, so we're very close to staying on track, just slightly down. We currently, year-to-date totals $2,349,469. Our use tax is up for the year. We are already at 84% of the budget at $1,083,511.07. I also want to express appreciation for Congressman Burleson's field reps. They were here also on Friday. We did meet with them a little bit early, but I think they failed to get some recognition. And again, we did meet with Eric, the field reps today as well. Yes, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. John?
Nothing tonight.
All right, moving on, we'll do the reported claims presented against the city. Amy?
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $1,716,912.74.
I move that we approve our February 24th and March 10th claims reports.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the 2 claims reports. Any discussion? Jack?
What is the $200,000 for Myers Park?
Let me see if I have it pulled up.
Unless that's on the wrong line.
Let's see if I have that. Oh, I don't have it anymore.
I will find out and get back with you.
Any other discussion? Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the 2 claims reports. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
All right, motion passes with 1 no. We'll now move on to old business. Amy, first council bill, please.
All right. Second reading of Council Bill 29-06, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Pyro Spectaculars Incorporated for the July 4, 2026 fireworks display in the amount of $25,000 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
Can we table this until he can get back with those people on the 25,000? Or does that make any difference? If it comes in, it seems to me like it ought to be $2,000 or $3,000 less.
When did we have to have that commitment by, Richard?
We could put it off for another couple of weeks without drastic harm being done.
All right, so are you motioning to table?
I'm motioning that we table
Council Bill
Council Bill
2609.
2609.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to table Council Bill 2609 for further development. Any discussion?
Well, this went out for bids, and we didn't receive any bids, but we went with the 1 person that came through. The bid amount, no one could make that bid amount at the time. So if we table this and go with someone else, I think that we would have to go out for bids again if we change our number. And that may push it back too far. I'm just...
No, I'm just suggesting that he negotiate with the people that had the bid, not that we rebid. Are you suggesting that we have to rebid?
Tracy?
We actually on the Myers, well, sorry, I was on Myers Park. On that, we only had 1 bid. They were sealed bids, so we have to accept the sealed bids. We either accept the $25,000 or the city does have the right to accept or reject any or all bids. So we can reject the bid, but we can't make them go give us a different amount.
That doesn't make any sense. In other words, there in the line item, as I recall, there was a price, fireworks. There's a number. And that number has to be less. Has to be.
Well, and
Well,
we're
again,
not sure when
it
they
was a
imported
sealed
their
bid.
bids.
We had
Yes.
1 bidder, is that correct?
Can he still negotiate if we accept this bid? Or do we have to give him 25,000?
Yes, and he might be able to negotiate a couple more, you know, explosives in the show as well.
Okay, fine.
Without changing the amount.
Okay.
Correct.
So you still have a motion on the table that, Alan,
I rescind my second.
okay?
I rescind.
Okay, all right, then we have a council bill on the table for the approval of Council Bill 2609. I would entertain a motion to adopt this council bill.
We don't need a motion, we just need to vote on council bill.
Correct, that's right. All right, so any other discussion? If not, cast your vote.
Oops.
You're all looking at me.
What did you do?
Did you get an oops?
I can't.
Did you get an oops?
She hasn't offended vote yet, so.
Old school one, do the
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
It helps if you click that last box.
Okay.
Bear with me.
Council bill passes. All right, next council bill.
Council Bill, second reading of Council Bill 26-10, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Fair Acres Family Y Incorporated for management of the aquatic facilities for the 2026 season in the amount of $100,000 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Janet?
Again, I just wanted to say that we really did negotiate this contract. Prices had gone up. This year, the Y has always been a good steward of this facility and good to work with. We did get free swim on Wednesdays for Carthage residents, and you can bring your own food in, and they do serve free dinners to whoever's there between 4 and 4:30. So I think it's a very good deal for our citizens to have all that goes along with this contract.
Okay. Any other discussion? Alan?
I would also like to thank Jana and Richard for negotiating this contract, because I remember when the initial conversation started, the number was quite a bit higher than what this is, so I appreciate their work on that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
Second reading of Council Bill 2611, an ordinance of the City of Carthage, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into a facilities study and environmental documentation agreement with Southwestern Power Administration.
Any discussion?
Kevin, do you want to make any comments on the?
I'm not familiar with what
Okay.
Darren presented at the last meeting regarding this.
Yeah, I was.
I'll just say, basically, this is just an agreement that spells out responsibilities and specifies, who's required to do what, so.
Any other discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes. We'll now move on to new business. First council bill. Amy?
First reading of Council Bill 26-12, an ordinance annexing certain adjacent territory known as Lot 13 in Breckenwood, 3rd Edition, into the City of Carthage, Jasper County, Missouri, as requested by Stephen Carlton.
As indicated, there is no action necessary here. Mr. Carlton was able to sell the property, so it will be reinitiated as a new annexation request by the new property owners. Next council bill.
First reading of Council Bill 26-13, an ordinance annexing certain adjacent territory which consists of a 24.23 acre parcel on East Fur Road into the City of Carthage, Jasper County, Missouri, as requested by Carthage R9 School District.
Any discussion? Derek?
I would just briefly note, again, this came before the Planning, Zoning, Historic Preservation Commission. They approved this request. There wasn't a ton of detail provided from the R9 representative that evening past School Farm in the development. So I can't really share, too much about what that would look like because I'm not certain, but the request was to annex that into the city. It's owned by the R9 and that's the plan. So that's all.
I believe that was so they could get CWP water to service that.
You are correct. One of the big aspects was, utilities through there as well. Yes.
Jack?
During the coffee clutch with the old people, there was discussion about they're gonna buy a tractor. 100-horse tractor to farm the 24 acres. I don't know what we can do. I mean, anybody can do with R9 with that request, but that just overpowered. So it makes no sense.
Alan?
So I'm not 100% sure, but I believe what I've been told is as part of the tech program, the ag, the classes, this farm will actually be a working farm where they will plant row crops. I don't believe initially they're planning on having livestock, but they will have row crops that kids will be able to learn to go out and till the ground, plant the seed, harvest crops in a real world environment. And I think this is something that I don't know how many schools have something like this, but this is probably one of the few in the state that will be able to offer this type of program.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion?
Was there anything that we were missing on that? Did we get it all right? Didn't you come for the, at the back? No, it's not him? Okay, never mind. I was thinking it was someone else. Never mind. I thought we had an expert here.
All right. Any other discussion? Next council bill.
First reading of Council Bill 26-14, an ordinance accepting the replat of Blackberry Briar subdivision located east of Prospect Avenue between 13th Street and Budlong Street in the city of Carthage, Missouri, as requested by Wright Family Homes, Chris Wright.
Any discussion? Derek?
Yeah, here again, I just mentioned I did not do a very good job verbally explaining what this looks like on the plat, but if you hit this council bill on our iPads here and then choose that PDF document, that'll tell the tale better than I can. But again, in short, the roads are already cut for this development to make kind of a U, and the U would currently stop in the middle with a cul-de-sac. So rather than having that, keeping that a continuous street where it's connected to all streets was the only request, and the Planning and Zoning Commission did agree with that, and that's why it's before us now. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, next council bill.
First reading of Council Bill 26-15, an ordinance of the City of Carthage, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the City of Carthage, Missouri and Zanovan Engineering, LLC, for engineering services on the 3rd Street Bridge Replacement Project, BRO-R117002, in the City of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Okay, that completes that. Tracy, I would ask that you go ahead and address the Myers Park question that was labeled before we move on to resolutions.
Hazel and airport expansion.
Yeah, I thought that probably was what it was, but I mean, it was just referenced as Myers Park, and there's nothing going on in Myers Parks.
That was a payment for that work though.
Oh, for the work.
For the road widening project.
Thank you.
All right, we'll now move on. I have no mayoral appointments this evening, so we'll move on to resolutions. First resolution, please, Amy.
Resolution 2114, a resolution providing for the formal acceptance of a donation to the City of Carthage's Fire Department by the City Council of the City of Carthage, Missouri, pursuant to city policy.
Any discussion? Alan?
I move we adopt resolution 2114.
I second that.
I have a motion, a second, to adopt resolution 2114. Any other discussion? All in favor, or cast your votes, rather?
My iPad has done something, I don't know what. It's blank.
Use your thumb.
You gotta-
It's completely blank.
All right, resolution is adopted. Next resolution.
Resolution 2116, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Carthage granting an administrative lot split for property located at 1005 James Street, Manly's Addition, Lot 28, as requested by Myra Morales Hernandez.
Okay, make sure I'm tracking. Did you say that was 2116?
Yes.
All right, so you skipped 2115.
I'm so sorry. Shall we
Let's
go
do
back and
2115
redo
first, please.
2115? Yes, sorry about that. Resolution 2115, a resolution approving the recommendation of the McCune Brooks Regional Hospital Trust for the distribution of funds in the amount of $65,000 from the restricted trust fund to the Jasper County Youth Fair.
Any discussion? Cast your votes. Resolution is adopted. Next resolution.
Resolution 2116, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Carthage granting an administrative lot split for property located at 1005 James Street, Manly's Addition, Lot 28, as requested by Myra Morales Hernandez.
Any discussion?
I thought I was at a meeting that was determined it would make the original lot too small if they split off.
Correct. So that was at the Public Works meeting, which we would defer to the Board of Adjustments because they asked to seek for variance on that. After looking into that, what you had in that corner was 2 substandard lots existing, with one lot being well within the size requirements. By splitting this lot, which is the one that was well within the size requirements, it actually created inevitably, because this homeowner is going to sell this back portion to the corner house, which had a, my mind's going to drop like 2,500 square foot lot. By addition of this lot split to their property, it would actually create 3 lots that would be close to, they would all be approximately 5,000 square feet, which would make everything look very uniform on that corner.
Any other discussion? Alan?
I would make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2116. And I was having issues with my iPad. Did we have a motion to adopt Resolution 2115? Oh, we did. Okay. I wasn't paying attention for that one, so. Okay.
Second.
believe you did.
You voted?
I did vote, yes, but I was trying to get my iPad. I didn't hear someone else make a motion to adopt
All right.
that one.
I have a motion to approve Resolution 2116.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other, all right, cast your vote then. Most resolutions adopted. Next resolution.
Resolution 2117, a resolution authorizing a budget adjustment to the General Revenue Fund for fiscal year 2025 to 2026 for a line item adjustment to capital outlay for the installation of park playground lights.
Any discussion?
This is what I spoke about earlier, that it wasn't in the original purchase of the lights to have them installed, so we've had to go back and get 15,000 more for the installation of the 19 lights.
Any other discussion? Cast your vote. Resolution is adopted. All right, we'll now move on to closing comments. And Jana, we will start with you.
Oh my gosh, you never start with me. I'm good tonight. I'm good. Everybody enjoy their spring break next week.
Ron?
We got 12 days to spring, and I heard we're gonna have some hail in that storm early in the morning.
Yeah,
Is that-
potentially could, yes.
Okay.
We're in a quarter to small golf ball size.
Pretty good size.
We got some quarter size in the last storm, but it was east of town, County Road 80 and 96 Highway to the north a little bit. I know because the deputy chief's house is there, and I was on the phone with him, but definitely.
That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Derek?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Juan?
Just a few comments since several of our council members brought up the scooters. I want to thank Ms. Wells for sharing her story. I can definitely relate to the feeling and the problems that you've had, not necessarily with Lime, but with kids riding their bikes. About lost my heart a couple of times with a few bike riders and one skateboarder, so I can definitely understand the sentiment that you're feeling. My comments is to the council and to our parks director. When we do get that feedback from our partners, let's make sure we're also communicating that a lot of those issues are within our control. We're just not doing anything about it, either because we don't know how to manage the system, but we can definitely control the areas where the bikes are used. Richard, you can probably give more information. Additionally, I want to say I think, and you can probably correct me on the numbers. I'm sure you can pull that up and give us exact information. I'd say most Lime riders are probably spending what, a couple of bucks per unique usage, and we're bringing in about $6,000. So that means that we're getting several thousand unique usage of the Lime scooters. So that means it is getting used by our citizens and the people here in Carthage. And then a lot of that will be during Marion Days and Maple Leaf, but there's still several unique, several thousand unique uses that we would see throughout the year. Additionally, there's people that are not doing very well economically that use it for transportation. So I know Lime also has a program for people that don't make as much where they pay less. There are individuals that are using it. Unfortunately, there's always somebody that ruins it for the majority of everybody. So just kind of keep that in your mind. Make sure we communicate that to our constituents. Because so far everything that I've heard is within our control. We're just not doing anything about it as a city, as a collective group, because we can manage it within our system. We're just not, and that's where the issue comes in, and that's where you're almost running over a kid. And, but anyway, that's my 2 thoughts on that. So.
All right, I would inform the council that Gennaro Cifuentes did submit a letter of resignation from his council seat. We're not going to do any appointments right now because obviously that seat is up for election here in about a month, but that's one of the reasons he's not with us tonight, so we wish him well. Ray?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Jack?
This is the left side of me. I just was thinking, why do we glorify instruments of death in public parks? I want you to just think about it. We got a cannon in Central Park. You go to any park anywhere, there's a mortar, there's a tank. Why not just a monument? It'd be a lot, there's a monument to whatever. I'm sorry, but I just, I drove by that cannon the other day and I thought, what the, what's the purpose? Well, everybody remembers the Civil War. Well, of course you do. But I'm sorry, I just.
Anything else?
No.
David?
Sorry, Jack, I'd be glad to fire off the cannon. A couple things just to throw out there. Spring break, like was mentioned, get out and enjoy that. St. Patrick's Day is a week from today, so enjoy St. Patrick's Day, but don't enjoy it too much and get caught by the police department. Storm spotter meeting is coming up on the 26th this month, I believe. Speaking of bad weather, I got that coming up. Anybody that's interested, I saw that to sign up for or attend. And lastly, today is my grandson Cooper Thorne's 17th birthday, so just a happy birthday to Cooper. So
Congratulations.
that's it.
Last thing I would say is Beth Kang is not with us tonight. She has an operation tomorrow to get a new knee. So we wish her well and look forward to having her rejoin your ranks. Alan.
So the weather we've had and the weather we're going to have tonight doesn't concern me as much as I was looking at the forecast earlier. And is it supposed to get in the 20s next week?
Yep.
That is wrong for spring break. I'm just saying.
I second that.
We need to keep this warm weather that we're currently having.
That time of the year.
It is. Other than that, I'd like to make a motion that, according to the section 610.021, subsection 2, the agenda includes the possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration therefore.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to go into closed session. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we'll move to closed session upstairs. meeting of the Carthage City Council back into order, into open session. Is there any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
We have to roll call back
Roll call
in.
back.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, roll call, please.
Peterson,
Present.
DePayne,
Present.
West,
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Thorne,
Present.
Snow,
Here.
Schramm,
Here.
Wells.
Here.
All right, any other business?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.